Hey everyone, it's Wealth, and today we're diving deep into the world of personal finance, but with a minimalist twist. Minimalism at its core is about intentionality, about being mindful of what truly adds value to your life and cutting out the excess. And when it comes to your finances, that same principle can be incredibly powerful. It's about breaking free from the cycle of consumerism and finding financial freedom. We're going to break down 7 fundamental personal finance principles, and I'm going to show you how embracing a minimalist mindset can make these principles easier to implement in your own life. So, if you're ready to simplify your finances, take control of your money, and start building a life of true wealth and fulfillment, then buckle up, because we're about to get started. The first principle, and arguably the most crucial, is tracking your spending. You can't manage what you don't measure. It's like trying to bake a cake without a recipe. You might end up with something, but it's probably not going to be pretty. Minimalism plays a huge role here because it forces you to be mindful of every single purchase. When you're a conscious spender, you naturally become more aware of where your money is actually going. And that awareness is key. There are tons of apps out there, Mint, Personal Capital, YNAB, you name it, that can help you track your spending automatically. But even just jotting down your expenses in a notebook can be a game changer. The point is to find a system that works for you and stick with it. As you track your spending, you'll start to notice patterns. You'll see those little impulse buys that are silently draining your bank account. That $5 latte every morning might seem harmless, but over a month, that's over $100. When you identify those unnecessary expenses, you can start plugging them up, and that frees up more money to put towards the things that truly matter to you. Remember, it's not about deprivation. It's about making conscious choices with your money. Now that you have a clear picture of your spending habits, it's time to create a budget. Think of your budget as a roadmap to your financial goals. It's a way to allocate your income in a way that aligns with your values and helps you achieve your dreams. Minimalism makes budgeting so much easier because it forces you to prioritize. When you're clear on what truly matters to you, it becomes much easier to say no to the things that don't. Start by listing out your essential expenses: housing, food, transportation, utilities. These are the non-negotiables, the things you absolutely need to cover each month. Next, allocate funds for your savings goals. This includes your emergency fund, as well as any long-term savings goals like retirement or a down payment on a house. Finally, factor in your discretionary spending, things like entertainment, dining out, and hobbies. The beauty of a minimalist budget is that it's not about deprivation, it's about conscious spending. It's about making sure that every dollar you spend is aligned with your values and moving you closer to your goals. This principle is at the very heart of minimalism. In a world constantly bombarding us with messages to buy more, consume more, and have more, it's easy to lose sight of the difference between what we truly need and what we simply want. A need is something essential for your survival and well-being. Think food, shelter, clothing, healthcare. A want, on the other hand, is something that might be nice to have, but isn't essential for your basic needs. Now, I'm not saying you should never indulge in your wants. Life is meant to be enjoyed, and there's nothing wrong with treating yourself occasionally. But the key is to be mindful and intentional about those indulgences. Before you make a purchase, ask yourself, do I need this, or do I just want it? If it's a want, give yourself some time to think it over. The 24-hour rule is a great tool for this. Wait a full day before making any non-essential purchases. By prioritizing your needs over your wants, you'll not only free up more money in your budget, but you'll also find yourself feeling more content and fulfilled. Life is full of surprises, and unfortunately not all of them are good. Your car could break down, you could lose your job, or you could face an unexpected medical bill. That's where an emergency fund comes in. An emergency fund is a financial safety net that gives you peace of mind knowing you can handle life's unexpected curveballs without going into debt. Now, you might be thinking, but Wealth, I'm already on a tight budget. How am I supposed to save for an emergency fund? That's where minimalism comes in. By cutting back on those non-essentials, you can free up more money to put towards your emergency fund. Start by aiming for a small, achievable goal, like $1,000. Once you've reached that, keep building your fund until you have 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses saved up. Debt can be a major roadblock on your journey to financial freedom. It's like carrying around a heavy weight that drags you down and prevents you from reaching your full potential. Minimalism can be a powerful tool for avoiding debt because it encourages you to live below your means and only spend money on the things that truly matter. One of the biggest culprits of debt is impulse spending. We see something we want, we whip out our credit card, and before we know it, we're drowning in debt. Minimalism helps you break this cycle by encouraging you to be more mindful and intentional with your spending. Before you make a purchase, ask yourself, can I afford to pay for this in cash? If the answer is no, then it's probably best to walk away. If you do use credit cards, make sure you're paying off your balance in full every month to avoid interest charges. Remember, the goal is to live debt-free so you can have more financial freedom and flexibility to pursue your passions and achieve your dreams. Now that you've got your spending under control, you've built up your emergency fund, and you're avoiding debt, it's time to start thinking about investing. Investing is one of the most powerful ways to grow your wealth over time and achieve your long-term financial goals. You don't need to be a financial expert to start investing. In fact, with the rise of robo-advisors and index funds, investing has never been easier or more accessible. One of the key principles of minimalist investing is to keep it simple. Don't get caught up in trying to time the market or pick individual stocks. Instead, focus on building a diversified portfolio of low-cost index funds that track the broader market. Investing is a long game, and it's important to stay the course even when the market is volatile. By investing consistently over time, you'll be amazed at how much your wealth can grow. The final principle of minimalist personal finance is to plan for the future. This means thinking about your long-term financial goals and developing a plan to achieve them. Start by asking yourself, what do I want my life to look like in 5, 10, or 20 years? Once you have a clear vision for your future, you can start developing a financial plan to make those dreams a reality. Minimalism can be a powerful tool for planning for the future because it encourages you to focus on what truly matters and let go of the material possessions and societal pressures that can hold you back. By embracing a minimalist mindset and following these 7 principles, you can take control of your money, achieve financial freedom, and live a life of purpose and fulfillment. So there you have it, 7 personal finance principles made easier through minimalism. Remember, minimalism isn't about deprivation, it's about intentionality. By adopting a minimalist mindset, you can break free from the cycle of consumerism, take control of your finances, and start building a life of true wealth and fulfillment.